The Acting Community Safety, Transport and Liaison MEC in KwaZulu-Natal, Kwazi Mshengu, was held in a meeting with the family of slain KZN police officer Constable Royal Ndlovu at his home in KwaXimba near Cato Ridge. The police officer was killed while attending to a domestic violence disturbance in Chatsworth this week. Newzroom Afrika's Bonga Dlulani is following the story for us and joins us live from outside the slain police officer's home. Bonga, good to have you back. Just talk us through what's happening there now.
Yes, Ntlanhla, a story of heroism that ended in tragedy for Constable Ndlovu. And we're here now with the MEC of Community Safety Acting, Kwazi Mshengu, who is also from Transport and Liaison. But he had a meeting with the family now, and I want to take his viewpoint from himself. He joins us now live. MEC, thank you for joining us. Terrible time to be here at the Ndlovu family. You had a meeting with them. What was discussed?
It's a terrible time indeed that we're here yet again to pay tribute to the family and homage because of the loss of one of our dedicated officers, Constable Ndlovu, who died on duty responding to the case of domestic violence. We are quite saddened that we continue to lose officers in this particular way, and it's putting a strain on the officers because it means they continue to be really under attack, and they are not protected by the same communities that they are expected to protect. So the death of Constable Ndlovu should be a reminder to all of us, all members of the society, to say, let us also take care of ourselves. Let's protect ourselves before we expect more from the police. Because had it not been for the domestic violence that was reported, probably we still have him today. But as a dedicated officer, together with his companion, rather his colleague, they then had to respond to that incident of domestic violence. Unfortunately, that's where he lost his life.
I'm sure it's hard for the family too. You just met with them. I mean, every day police officers goes to work. It's always when they're going to come home, but it never takes away from the fact that it's a son, a brother, a member of their family.
It's very hard. It's very hard because beyond all the things that are happening now, after the funeral, the reality will kick more on their minds to say, indeed, Constable Ndlovu is no more. To them, it was not just a police. He was a son. He was a brother. He was a father. He was a husband. So they've really lost someone who was a pillar of strength to the family. That is why we said we need to come here to console the family and be with them during these difficult times. But as I said earlier on, this is a reminder to everyone to say this should be the last police that should die in this way. More so when he was really responding to what the president has defined as a second scourge or pandemic, really, that we are facing, which is gender-based violence. And I do want to pass a message to say the incidence of gender-based violence will not be eliminated by the police. They require strong family foundations. They require active community engagement so that we don't leave everything in the hands of police.
But also important, MEC, I think, is to find out how the police also tend to fix the situation, because you say that he must be the last who dies a line of duty like this. So you must look at how to get a plan or handle and make sure, particularly brazen suspects and someone who kills officer on duty like this.
Well, unfortunately, we'll have to say this, that the message to police is that don't die with your guns in your hands. That should not happen. Don't be tolerant to criminals, because they don't bring soft things. When the criminals draw up their guns, the intention is clear: to kill the police. So our message to the police, when we are faced with hardened criminals, anyone who will point a gun to the police must not hesitate. They must defend themselves. They must defend the communities decisively. It is better to count the bodies of criminals than to count the bodies of the police. And that is the message. And I know that this may invite criticism, but it can't be that those who are supposed to protect the communities, to protect the state, are the one who dies in numbers. It can't be. This is not the state that should be run by criminals. Criminals should have no space. And the message to the police: make sure that it doesn't happen again. And you must defend yourself, because you are also family members, you are community members. So don't die with your guns.
That's also even to note that even though it's a bitter pill to follow, so the family and also his colleagues, he died of a hero because he was protecting a member of someone who was reporting a gender-based violence case. So how his colleagues, what are they saying about him, his dedication to the service?
He was more than a policeman, as colleagues describe him. He also assisted in lifting up their spirits whenever tough times do hit our force. Because, you know, sometimes people think that police are people who are immune from the challenges that we face in life. So he was more than just a policeman who guided our community. He also played a very key role in uplifting the spirit and the dedication of his fellow colleagues. And so we have lost really somebody that we needed more in our police service.
Thank you, MEC Mshengu. They're giving us just an update of his visit to the family here in Ndlovu, KwaXimba, of that slain officer, Constable Ndlovu. He died of life duty while protecting a member of the community who was reporting a case of gender-based violence in Chatsworth, a 15-year veteran in the service, and basically giving us his take that he's someone whom will be missed and also be remembered fondly by his colleagues, that he died in the light of duty, a hero in a tragic situation, a situation described as the president and also the police minister. The second pandemic that the country is facing is the gender-based violence. Back to you, Nhlanhla.
Well, thanks there to our reporter, Bonga Dlulani, who's out in KZN, following that tragic shooting where a police officer was fatally shot while responding to a domestic violence incident in Chatsworth. Let's move